Okay, so now we're in the main living space, and I just wanted you to be able to see the room as a whole first. So you can see we've got the entertainment center over here, we've got a table here. This did not come with the rig. This used to be a love seat, but we didn't get any use out of the love seat, and we get a lot of use out of this table, so we just put the table here. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Over onto that side, you have the actual couch. I'll talk more about that in detail here in a minute. And then kind of behind the camera right now is the kitchen, and we'll get to that. I'll show you that in a minute. So at the front door, I just wanted to show some things that we did. We put in this pull down shade into the door, because these doors don't come with any kind of blinds or anything, and there's no privacy glass. You can just see right through. So we added this shade, which actually replaces the whole window, but you can pull it up and down now, so we can still see out if we want to, but we can have privacy in the evening. We also added some more what do you call those things? Command strip hooks. Command strips are your friend because there's not a lot to screw into, and these stick really well. So we've just got several of them for whatever, in dog stuff, masks, keys, umbrellas, flashlights on this side, whatever we want. We can just hang anywhere in the trailer. So that's the door. Alright, so moving over to the table, we actually got this table from IKEA. It's really cool because if you want, this side will fold down and this side will fold down. We have yet to need to do that because it rides perfectly well right there. In fact, the way you see it right now is the way it rides. We don't move the chairs, we don't move the table, we don't tie down the chairs, we don't tie down the table. It just sits there perfectly and never moves. It also has some drawers, which are nice. A few little things in there. So we increased our storage, and we got a place to eat because this trailer doesn't have a table like a lot of other trailers do. Alright, moving on from that, this is an upper storage over what used to be the couch. So you've got, come over here, you've got the main control panel. This one is the on-off switch for all of the lights in here and the dimmer. You can probably see that. This is the generator control panel, which if we had a generator, it would control it, but we don't. It's just pre-wired. And then the main control panel has things like the tank heaters. If you're camping somewhere where it's really cold, this unit comes with tank heaters. It has the electric and gas options for the water heater, as well as the water pump if you're running off of your freshwater tank. It's got all of your indicators for the levels of your tanks, so gray tanks, black tanks, etc. Then you've got a whole row of switches that are just lights. This thing has a lot of LED lights that are all run off the battery, which is really nice. And then you've got your 3 slides. And finally, the 2 awnings for extending and retracting them. And we've got some more little storage up here. And I'll go move around to this side. These look like huge cabinets, but they're really not because there's a lot of controls in here. We've got one of the control panels. We've got, not control panel, breaker panel. We've got the other breaker panel. The reason there's 2 is because it's a 50 amp service, and it's also got a 30 amp solar setup. So one box comes off of the inverter, so it delivers 30 amps of power. The other one is not on the inverter, so it delivers the other 50 amp service. If we were to be in a no shore power situation, we could run everything on this control breaker panel from the battery for as long as we have battery capacity. This one is the 12 volt fuse panel. Valor gives you a color-coded labeled switch, not Valor, Alliance, for all of your circuits, which is awesome. And then This is the charge monitor for the batteries. You can see we have 300 amp hours of batteries. We are at 100%. That's because we're connected to shore power. This one is the Intellitronic system, which also works with the inverter. And it's kind of like a auto resetting fuse panel or fuse breaker panel, in that it has 6 circuits and they match the 6 circuits that are in here. And if any of them, if you exceed the 3000 watts that the inverter can put out, or the 30 amps that it can put out, it will start shutting off the circuits. The nice thing about it is when that load goes down, the circuits will automatically come back on, unlike a breaker that won't. It will have to be reset manually. And you can also prioritize which circuits you want to go off first. We have the air conditioning set to go off first because, you know, the alternative would be something like the microwave or some other cooking apparatus. That's usually what trips it. And it's way less disruptive to have your AC go off for a minute or two than it is to have your microwave quit in the middle of cooking. So once the AC goes off, we have plenty of power, and then as soon as the microwave is done, the AC comes back on by itself. It's pretty awesome. Above that, we have some storage for, we just keep our personal or important papers and such. We've got a little safe that I put up here. And then just way high storage that I can hardly get to for stuff that we rarely use.
Can you talk about why that storage one's blocked?
That storage is blocked because that is the towel storage in the bathroom that I showed earlier. One thing to point out on the cabinet doors in all of the Alliance products, they're all soft close and they have magnet catches, so they cannot open by themselves in travel. Alright.
Talk about the lights underneath it.
We have some lights under here, manual lights that don't have their own switch on the wall, so if you need task lighting or if you want to have extra light while you eat, you can just turn those on manually. More artwork hung by command strips. Command strips are awesome. Another pull down shade. These work just like the ones in Jackson's bedroom that I already showed. They block out pretty much all of the light. If you can see, this is the main big slide out. You can see the frame that goes all the way around it. It includes the couch and the fridge. This couch is a three recliner couch. The end sections have electric reclining. And the middle section just has the pull-up thing and it reclines the whole way. There's actually this middle section that folds down. And it has 2 cup holders and a charging port. In here we have another section of lights that are super bright. Here's another one of those caddies like we put in Jackson's room for remotes. We have a lot of remotes in this room because we have the TV, we have the radio, we have the fireplace. I'll show all that in a second.
You show the map.
We added a map of the United States for places that we've been, which is really cool because it's a scratch off. You just scratch off the gray on in the states you've been to. And then we have the above sofa storage. This is typical of, so far, all of the Valors I've seen have this exact same storage. It's just some smaller cabinets above for random stuff. Not too big, but definitely useful. We've got a nice little corner here where we can put the dogs' food and water. Above this is the we call it the attic, but it's really it's actually a bed.
Can you turn the light on for it?
It has its own light up there. We have stuff that we don't need to get to very often. We actually have a printer up there that's working. It's online. We can print to it from the office. And this ladder is for that space, but it's also for the bed space in the other room, but we just leave it here all the time because it's out of the way, and if we need to get something from the top of there, it's really easy to get to. Next to that, we have the actual pantry. It could be bigger, but it's still bigger than a lot of trailer pantries. We haven't done anything in there.
Wait till the AC in the vent.
There's the AC control for the the main AC in this room, which is over there. And then this control is for the max fan above the kitchen area, which we use frequently because if you're cooking anything and it starts to smoke out the room, that works way better than the vent hood for the actual stove. Okay. This is where we decided to put our trash. It works really well. It's not in the way for the most part. Going into the kitchen in this unit has the full-size residential style range. It's a 24-inch wide range, 4 burners, full-size oven. Can you see that?
Yep.
The countertops in all the Valors are poured, what do you call it? Epoxy. So they're solid one-piece countertops. It's in anywhere there's a countertop in here, it has that. We found a place for our coffee machine and our knife block, as well as some small things. I've still got a decent amount of counter space. Our dish drainer actually fit in here really well. Kitchen, the sink is pretty big. So there's that. It's got a pull down sprayer. A residential style faucet. On the island side, our Instant Pot lives here all the time. We use it 2 or 3 times a week probably. It's a great thing for RVs. It's one-pot meals. It's awesome. Everybody should have an Instant Pot. A little bit of food storage for fresh veg. We've got this fold up or fold down little island extension, I guess, for lack of a better word. We leave that up all the time. Sometimes Jackson will sit here and eat. Sometimes I'll use it for prep area. I added a whole bunch of spice rack storage. We actually bought these containers from Amazon, and they're all exactly the same, and we just transferred our spices in there so they all fit exactly into these bins. And these are actually bolted to the island, so they cannot come off. Like, they're bolted all the way through. Come over here, bud. The drawers, just like the cabinets, are also closed by magnets. They're soft close and they have magnets. But I found this trick online, which was to put a bottle cap on this magnet. Because if you don't have it on there and it's closed, it's quite the workout to get open. So while we're not driving, I stick a bottle cap on there, and then when I close the drawer, it doesn't stick. It still stays closed. So that's awesome. So anyway, we have 3 drawers. They are reinforced on the bottom, so theoretically they hold like 75 pounds or something crazy like that. Under sink storage, we keep pots and pans into there. Not too exciting. Toaster lives under there when we're not using it. We don't have counter space just to leave all the appliances out all the time. The upper storage, these are huge cabinets. Unfortunately, they are almost too huge. Everything is so high we can't get to that stuff, so try and keep stuff up there that we don't use very often. Otherwise, pots, pans, dishes. These vertical plate holders are awesome. They take up a lot less room in the cabinets. Okay. On this side, we put in this nice little virtually unusable skinny cabinet, but we found these to put in there. And these really work well. They're screwed in so they can't fall out. And then more storage above the microwave. The microwave in this unit is a regular 110 powered, like residential style microwave. It is not convection, but it is a pretty high powered microwave. It works really well. The coach came with these stools that go under this little island. We rarely use them, but if we didn't have them here, we wouldn't have anywhere else to put them. So, don't know. Under here, there's more storage. A lot more storage. Coffee stuff. A lot of coffee stuff. Cookbooks. Okay. This little guy down here. Show this, Jackson. If you have pets, you should really get one of these. This is called a waggle. All it does is monitor the temperature in the room, and if you can set the limits on it, and if it gets too hot in here, it will text you So if your dog is stuck in your trailer and you're not there and your AC goes out, it'll become 150 degrees in here in no time. So that tells you that it's getting hot and you can come back and save your dog. This is also a slide out. Anywhere you see this big wood border, that's a slide out. And it has, I think it's a 50-inch TV. It's a smart TV, LG smart TV, so it has streaming things, you know. I have found, I don't think it's a very good streaming device personally. We hook up our Roku to it and it streams way better through the Roku. There's also a surround sound JBL stereo system. We do run the TV through that and it sounds pretty good. There's a subwoofer behind the couch, which is interesting.
I don't think I can show you that.
Above this, the TV is probably the largest storage we have. We're not even utilizing it completely. It's where we keep all of our games.
I'll see if I can't show that.
It's pretty huge.
Over tall.
That's awesome. Below all this is our fireplace. Turn it on. So this is a digital fireplace. I don't know, it's probably 50 inches long, it's big. It can be turned on just for looks, or it does put out heat, and it will heat up this space pretty well.
Can you change its color?
If it's just a little cool in here and you don't want to turn on the main heater. If you look at the floor, you can see we added this 5x7 rug. This is from a company called Ruggable, and it's pretty cool because it's a washable rug. The back of it and the top of it are two separate pieces, so you can peel the top off. I can show that. You can actually lift off this thin upper part and put it in the washing machine. So we thought that would be a great solution to have in an RV. Oh, and we also keep the dog toys right there usually. And that concludes everything in the center of the coach. Next we will see the garage / bedroom / office. Alright, now we're ready to take a look at the bedroom / garage / office. I currently have it set up in bedroom mode. As you can see, we have the bed down. You can see the desk is not usable right now. I wanted to show you the features of the room as a bedroom first. So you can see we've added storage on this side over here for all of our clothes, or our hanging clothes at least. We brought in this hanging rack that just sits here. We've also got some purse storage over here that we hung on the wall with more, oh, these are regular hooks. We didn't use command hooks this time. So those are just screwed into the wall. Got a trash can down here. We've got a little drawer unit here that stores a bunch of stuff. I'm going to swing around to this side. You can see we brought in a normal dresser from IKEA, I think. And it holds all of our folded clothes. Behind the door, we have some hat storage, which is where we keep our step ladder. If you have a trailer, you need to get a step ladder. It's just, you have to have one. It's a great place to store it. I also have some bungee cords here that we use when we are traveling in this room, because there's a lot of things that have to be secured for travel. You can also see that we have blacked out this door. This was a tinted glass door. You could see right through it. And now, since this is our bedroom, we went ahead and put some blackout film on there. So you absolutely can't see through there at all. On this little section of wall, this is where you can see, we could have put our washer and dryer right here, because there's connections right here, but it would have stuck out way out here, and it would have made it really hard to get into the bathroom, which I'll show you in a second. So instead, we put the washer and dryer in front, which you've already seen, but we made this kind of like our little utility room. We have the vacuum here mounted on the wall so it can charge. We've got a couple of hanging racks that have like trash bags and soap and dog poop bags, and then down here we have another one just, well, it's a little smaller, but we have another one that has cleaning supplies in it, you know, dustpan, that sort of thing. All right, moving to the right is the actual half bath for this room. It is super small, you can barely be in there, but you know, it gets better than not having a bathroom. So that's that. Okay. Turn around this way. You can see when we're in bedroom mode, we still have an office chair in here, so it just kind of sits here. It's mostly not in bedroom mode. It's only in the evening usually. So normally we're using that at the desk. We've got some other items on the floor over here. We've got some dog food storage. See, for our bed, this is the Happy Jack system. So this platform here is meant to have a mattress on it, and it comes with one that is about that thick, which is horrible. This is a normal residential queen size mattress. Under that, you would normally have 2 fold-up couches in this orientation. We took those off and replaced one side with a desk, which I'll show you here in a minute. I also modified this system so that this bed can be lower than it normally would. Normally the Happy Jack upper bunk would be somewhere around this level at its lowest level, and that would be a little difficult to get into. You can also see we have some upper storage in the front of this room. 2 cabinets on either side. They've just got these elastic netting things right now. You can see up in there, probably that's where I keep my internet hardware. We've currently got a PepWave cellular embedded router. And there's also a big antenna on the roof, and we get pretty good cellular internet with that. Got our Alexa there. We got a TV in the middle that pulls down. I don't think we've ever used it. And then on this side we have all of our backpacks, and that's where all of our computers and things ride when we are in travel mode. Okay, so now I'm going to do the conversion from nighttime mode to office mode. So here we go. So that is standing desk mode. We do this a few hours of the day so we can stand while we work. As you can see, we also have the patio that we can put down and get a lot of natural light in here. I'm going to go ahead and close these curtains again though for video. More often than not, we have the ramp up so that because we don't have room for it, or because it's too hot, or because it's too cold. So more often than not, it looks like this anyway. So this is standing mode, like I said. Now I'll show you what it looks like when we want to sit down. You just have to pull out this chair. Bring it down to right there. Push the chairs in. So that's what it looks like when we are in office mode. That's it for the tour of the trailer. I hope you liked it. We'll see you for the next one.